All right, Thread isn't the only app competing with Twitter. There's also a new Black-owned app, Spill. It launched in mid-June, and it's a website. It states Spill is visual conversation at the speed of culture.
Here to talk more about this new media company is Marcus Collins, author for The Culture. He also is the former digital media strategist to Beyonce. So good morning. How are we doing, Marcus?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me here.
Okay, good to have you here on talking about this. So working as a digital media strategist to Beyonce for 2 years. Okay, what was that like?
As awesome as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Queen Bee here.
Right.
It was an amazing, amazing opportunity.
You also worked at Apple, as you mentioned.
Indeed.
So what did you learn from Beyonce, from Apple, about this digital space?
What I learned is that these technologies are at their best when they are helping the facilitation of community. With Beyonce, part of my job is about moving her offline fan club online. We tried to erect this massive space for her in the digital world using Facebook and Twitter at the time. What we realized is that people were already congregating. They called themselves the Beehive.
Yeah.
So we cut bait on the thing we were doing and used our resources to facilitate community. I think that was the biggest takeaway, is that you don't develop or build community, you facilitate it. You find people who see the world the way you do, and you use the technologies to activate them, to extend human behavior among them.
Yeah,
Is that the problem with Twitter?
I mean, 1000%. I mean, you essentially you have a dictator who's taken this platform and rolled back so many things that help community thrive, that help community come together. And as a result, you see people fleeing for more safe spaces where they can find people like themselves.
Right, and that's what we're seeing happening on Threads, right?
That's right.
And so there's so many different spaces now, and then there's Spill. So this is a new app, relatively new. So talk about what exactly it is that's happening there.
So Spill is a Black-owned platform that was built in the wake of the falling apart of Twitter as we know it. And what I think Spill has positioned itself so uniquely for is that the cultural engine of Twitter was Black Twitter. Right?
Yes.
Before, Twitter was a place where information was exchanged, journalists would go to inform the public and exchange it with other journalists. But when Black Twitter became a thing, it completely changed what that platform is there for.
Yeah.
It created not only a place where information was exchanged, but where meaning was made.
Yeah.
And with the changes to Twitter, thanks to Elon Musk, it became not a very safe place for Black people on Twitter. So they were looking for refuge, for a safe haven, and Spill provides that for them.
When you look at Spill, right, and you were talking about, I'm just listening to you talking about the building of a community, right, and facilitating. How many people have kind of ventured over to Spill and signed up? Because Threads was relatively quick. It was 100 million people in a few days.
Yeah.
What does Spill look like?
Well, Threads is uniquely positioned because they were able to use the network effects of Instagram.
Right.
But Spill has developed a space for community. Even the platform is built for the way by which Black Twitter made meaning, through memes and GIFs and videos. It's visual focus as opposed to text-based focus, realizing that's how the folks on Black Twitter would interact with each other. So it's created a platform where there's safety, but also it's designed for the facilitation of a specific community. And as a result, you see the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are on Spill and the hundreds of thousands that are still waiting in the beta. I mean, there are people still on the waiting list trying to get in there because they're curating the perfect place for the Black community to feel safe. Not exclusive to, but inclusive to the Black community.
I want to talk about your book, For the Culture. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the book makes a very clear argument that there's no external force more influential to human behavior than culture, full stop. Now you hear that and go, yeah, totally, that makes sense.
Yeah.
However, if you ask 5 people to define culture, you get 25 different answers.
Of course, right.
That's a problem. That means that we're not really fully leveraging the power of culture if we don't understand it. So the book provides a Rosetta Stone on what culture is. So we have language that we can use to operationalize it, but also provide the skills that we need to harness its power, leveraging all my years in the world of advertising, putting things in the world like moving the New Jersey Nets to become the Brooklyn Nets, launching the Made in America Music Festival, running digital strategy for Beyonce, doing partner marketing at iTunes at Apple, and now professor at the Ross School of Business, University of Michigan.
Wow. Okay.
Really cool.
It's so interesting when you say that, when you ask somebody to define the word culture and you get much different answers.
I mean, we know it intuitively. We just don't have the language for it.
But is there one right answer?
Well, there is a good answer.
Yeah, right.
And I think about it from the scholar, the founding fathers of sociology, Emil Durkheim. He talked about culture as a system of conventions and expectations that govern what people like us do. They demarcate who we are and what people like us are expected to do. And as a result, we do it.
Wow. Can you come back?
Yeah, I know. I have so much to talk to you about.
Yeah, let's do this. Done.
What do you think about American culture right now?
I think American culture is fragmented, terribly fragmented.
Yeah.
And in most cases, there are some norms that we have. If I extend my hand to you, you extend it back to shake it, otherwise you'd be rude or offend me.
Right.
There's still those things that exist that are still very tangible. But when we think about the nuances of American culture, they're starting to break down because of the fragmentation, the divisiveness that exists in the country. And therefore, we still find ourselves finding people like us, people who are not like us. Unfortunately, that divide is getting bigger and bigger each
Marcus,
day.
fascinating conversation. We need to have you back. We're out of time here, but we want to have you back to talk more about
Thank you
this
so
and
much.
more. You're welcome back anytime, okay? And by the way, the book now available for The Culture is available wherever books are sold.